why does the NFL hate its fans so? Why does it hate their fans so goddamn much? You couldn't think of a better gift to put on display for your fans the day after Christmas than this ultimate lump of coal in the stocking that's going to be Bears football in prime freaking time? We just saw a couple of weeks ago how that worked out against the Vikings. It was a disaster. And you think the day after Christmas, a team that you know is clearly checked the fuck out, that we're not going to get another Bears football disaster in prime time? And oh, by the way, it's going to be in that third-rate dump of a stadium that looks like a UFO took a huge hulk of crap inside the Roman Coliseum. Why would anybody fucking pay to go there or watch a game? In particular, why would anybody do that in December? Why would anybody do that the day after fucking Christmas? Because Bears fans are dumb. That's why. Bears football! I just hope and wish the team will do better. I gotta continue to support them no matter what. No, that's dumb. That just means you accept the mediocrity, which is so typical of Bears fans. But oh my God. We just got over watching the Lions decimate the Bears on Sunday. We got to turn back 4 days later, right after Christmas on a Thursday night, and suffer not only through a Thursday night game, again, but a primetime game featuring Bears football. And he got Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit on the call. Just an all-around shit stain of a way to spend December 26th, if you ask me. So anyways, let's take a look at this game and let's see, how bad are the Bears ultimately going to lose this one. You've got the Seahawks coming in this one with a lot to play for and on a bit of a skid. They've lost their last two. They just lost this past Sunday to the Vikings. And then the previous week, they lost to the Packers, and it really wasn't close. Packers pulled away from them big. So here's Seattle under first-year head coach Mike Macdonald, 8-7, one game behind the Rams in the NFC West, and just hoping beyond hope that everything goes their way to where that Week 18 matchup against the Rams can theoretically be for the NFC West title and a first-round home playoff game. Well, the Seahawks, in order to be able to do that, realistically, they have to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. They have to win. They've also got to hope that the Rams lose. Or if the Rams do win, they've got to hope, I believe this is the right scenario. Somebody can fact check me on this right now, the way it stands. But they would need less than 3.5 wins from the following 6 teams because it's about strength of schedule shit. Washington, Minnesota, Buffalo, San Francisco, Cincinnati, Cleveland. This is where we start to get into the silly season of figuring out playoff scenarios. All of that said, if the Rams win and 4 of those teams win, then the Seahawks are cooked, even if they win this one. But their approach has to be, we've got to win this one to have any shot, period. Because you don't want to be like the Bears a few years ago and backdoor your way into the fucking playoffs. That's nowhere to do it. Unless you're a Bears fan, dopey-ass Bears fan, and then you celebrate it. Be like, oh my God, they figured it out. No, they didn't. They didn't figure out anything, you dummies. For Seattle, though, you've got Geno Smith, just 63 yards passing away from having a 4,000-yard season. And man, good for Geno. He got to Seattle, and he made it work. He's found himself a home. And, what a damning statement against the Jets organization, where recent quarterbacks they drafted like Geno Smith and Sam Darnold absolutely flamed out there. And they go elsewhere. And you've got Sam Darnold having an MVP caliber type of season. He really is. And Geno Smith has established himself as the franchise quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks. Pretty damning indictment on the Jets, all I got to say. What's weird, though, to me about the Seahawks is they're a team that spent 2 second-round picks on running backs in like back-to-back years with Kenneth Walker III and Zach Charbonnet, yet they're 30th in the league in rushing yards. Yeah, got to be able to block, too. Their defense is kind of middle of the road, which you would think you hire a defensive-minded head coach, it needs to be better than the middle of the road. They've had some good moments, but they've had some pretty bad ones this year, too. But when you get to the Bears, does any of it really matter? They've lost 9 in a row now, and it gets uglier by the week. That game against Detroit was never in doubt. From Jump Street, it was over. And, a lot of talk now is about Caleb Williams. And the reality is he's had an adequate rookie year. He's been put in a tough spot, even though in theory it was supposed to be a good spot. But there's still a lot of room to improve. It's crazy to think about it, though, as a rookie. He's in the middle of a streak right now with the 7th most consecutive passes without an interception, which is crazy to think about, which is, on the one hand, pretty awesome. On the other hand, is indicative of, well, he's putting up a lot of his numbers in garbage time, and he's been so inaccurate at times, which is true, that he's not only not hitting his wide receivers, it's not even close to the defender picking it off. So this is one of these things where the stats alone don't tell the full story, right? Especially when you look at it, you would say, hey, if I told you were going to draft a rookie quarterback and he had 19 touchdown passes, only 5 interceptions, you'd be like, I'll take that 100 out of 100 times. But frankly, I would rather see Caleb with like 12 to 15 interceptions if that meant he had 25 to 28 touchdowns, because he was taking more chances down the field and he was connecting on more big plays. That's what I'm just saying. And the real reality is for Caleb is his accuracy is too scattershot. And on the down the field shit, it stinks. It's worse than the stats show to me when you look at completion percentage. And it was a problem I saw at USC. I got kind of poo-pooed about it a little bit, but it's really manifested this year. He's got to get better there, period. But, if I told you before the season started that Caleb Williams would be in a position to potentially start all 17 games, he would have this touchdown-interception ratio, and he'd have like 4 300-yard passing games, would you take that? Absolutely. Absolutely. So it's there. Do I really need to talk about anything else with this Bears team? No, so let's move the fuck on, because who the hell cares? The betting odds for this one, at least the early odds, the Seahawks are 3-point favorites. Road team, short turnaround on Thursday night, I guess I get it, but this is just, again, underselling the fact that the Bears have totally given up. They just have. They just have. For the Seahawks, their keys to victory: focus on the task at hand. Can't worry about what the Rams do or any other teams do in terms of strength of schedule yet. You got to take care of your business. You just had a tough loss to the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. This is a way to cleanse your palate, put yourself in a position, give yourself a chance. You got to take care of the business at hand, which in this game is going to mean a heavy dose of Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. The Bears stink against the run. The Seahawks have invested multiple high picks on running backs in the past couple of years. You fucking use them. Make them the focal point of your attack here. And then when you do throw, whether it's to Jackson Smith-Njigba or it's Metcalf, go at Tyreek Stevenson as much as you possibly can and attack those safeties down the field. The Lions did it. The Vikings did it. Go at them. I promise you it'll pay off for you. For the Bears, you win by losing at this point? I don't know. Blitz and put pressure on the Seahawks O-line. They stink. Make them have to hold up, which I'm sure somehow the Bears will magically make it where the Seahawks offensive line does hold up. But if you want a chance of winning this one, you've got to get some heat on Geno Smith, and this is the perfect offensive line to do this against because they are not very good. Get some first quarter points, for God's sakes. No more waiting until the second half or late in the second quarter to start to figure things out on offense. Get out of the gate and get after it and get some fucking points on the board, for Christ's sakes, and attack down the field with Rome Odunze and DJ Moore. Rome is your wide receiver one. He's your big play guy. Start targeting him more down the field. And if Caleb throws 5 interceptions in this game, frankly, I don't give a fuck. I want to see them attacking downfield vertically in the passing game, taking damn shots. And even if that means you run more max protect to give Caleb an extra half second to get set and throw, then that's what you fucking do. If he throws it into double or triple coverage, so what? I don't care. The team is fucking 4-11 anyways. They're not going anywhere. But what I do want to see is this team take more chances down the field. That's it. They won't, but I wish they would. My prediction for this one, I think the Seahawks will be motivated coming off of Sunday's loss and realize they still have something to play for, and the Bears will remember, hey, Christmas was just yesterday and we don't give a fuck. Guys like DJ Moore thinking about vacation. So I guess can't blame him at this point. I would be too. It's just a human emotion, folks. We should stop holding our athletes up to this extremely ridiculously high standard. I'm just saying, like, it's natural for them to be thinking about vacation when their team is freaking 4-10, now 4-11. I think the Seahawks win something like 23-17. I just hope to God this isn't as brutal as we expect. Bears football in prime time is gonna be.